Kohalo Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Okay, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to you brothers that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Okay, here's a quick video. It's based off an article from The Guardian. It says revealed more than 1,000 metric tons of microplastics rain down on U.S. parks and wilderness. Okay, so it's not only this microplastic being rained down on U.S. parks, it's being rained down on people in general, and you see a little piece of microplastic, okay, in this man's fingertip, and that's how small it is. Before I start, because I'll just bring these scriptures out before I start, because Esau Edom is responsible, okay, because he's the one in rulership right now, and the earth is under his policy, his dominion. Okay, so this is Isaiah 24:5. It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. So now we understand why the Heavenly Father is going to bring forth these thermonuclear missiles, okay, because it's part of the cleansing, okay, of the earth. It's gonna have to be cleansed by fire. So everything that was made, that's wrong in the earth right now, it has to be cleansed, and it's going to be cleansed by fire. Because why? They transgressed the law, the laws. They're not keeping the land Sabbaths. They're not keeping the dietary laws. Okay, they're not keeping the order of the earth. Okay, which the Lord have gave that order to the nation of Israel, okay? Because our portion, okay, our inheritance is the law of the Heavenly Father, the covenants, okay, the ordinances. That was given to one people, and that's the nation of Israel. And that shows you that Esau, Edom, or the East, okay, they're not fit to be in rulership. All right, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth. Okay, and then we're coming into the curse that's going to devour the earth, those nuclear missiles, okay, when they're being shot in that great day of the Lord. And they that dwell therein are desolate, meaning they're brought to nothing. It says, therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. And that's what's coming, okay? Few men left, okay, and people being burned. This is Revelation 11:18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come. And the nations are angry now as we speak. You have the Indians, okay, the East Indians, okay, over there in India. They have a border dispute with the Moabites, okay, over there in that region over there. And the nations are angry, okay. And the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give a reward unto thy servants the prophets. And who are the Lord's servants the prophets? Okay, the elect out of the nation of Israel that have been commissioned to speak the words of the Lord before they come to pass. And to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great. Okay, so to the saints, those are all Israelites, the prophets, the saints, okay, and they that fear the name, small and great, okay, those are Israelites. And shouldest destroy them which destroyed the earth. Okay, and we establish who leads the policy in destroying the earth. Okay, the Edomites. Okay, all right, the other nations. Okay, the Lord is going to destroy them. Okay, this is Wisdom of Solomon 6:2. It says, give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations, for power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels. Because the Heavenly Father know all the counsels, okay, of the kings of the earth. It says, because being ministers of his kingdom, meaning being servants of his kingdom, because now you're in a position of power. You're supposed to serve his kingdom, okay, his earth, because he have given the earth in your hands, okay, but you haven't done right by it, okay. That's why you're going to be destroyed. It says, because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law. Okay, going back to Isaiah the 24th chapter, nor walked after the counsel of the Heavenly Father. Okay, horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why I brought this article out, because the earth is not being kept in its right order. Therefore, destruction has to come to rectify it. And here's another example with these microplastics. Okay. Now, this article doesn't give me a particular name. Okay. So I could shout out the author. Okay. But it says a survey of 11 remote Western locations found that over a year, the fragment had traveled throughout the atmosphere like rain or water particles. Microplastic particles equivalent to as many as 300 m plastic water bottles are raining down on the Grand Canyon, Joshua Tree, and other U.S. national parks, researchers have found. So they're not only falling on these U.S. natural parks, they're falling upon us when we go outside, because you could smell a distinct smell. Kind of smells like plastic. Now that I think of it, you also have the acid rain that you used to smell, and the rain stinks. Okay, and you can smell a distinct smell when it rains. Okay, it's way different than when I was growing up, and I can and other people should be able to attest. The rain smells very different. Okay, we're familiar with the smell of acid rain, but when it comes to these microplastics, that's a different type of rain. It's a different type of smell. Okay, when it rains. As a matter of fact, it's raining right now. Okay, it's a dreary day outside. It says in a survey of 11 remote Western locations, also including the Great Basin and craters of the Moon National Parks, researchers discovered more than 1,000 metric tons of microplastic particles that had traveled through the atmosphere like rain or water particles. Most particles are fragments from larger pieces of plastic. Since plastics aren't biodegradable, plastics that end up in the waste pile or landfills break down into microparticles and make their way through the Earth's atmosphere, soil, and water systems. Okay, so who has commercialized plastic, the use of plastic, okay, on an everyday basis? These Edomites, man. Okay, because it's cheap. Okay, it's efficient to transport goods, okay, in plastic, okay, but it's also detrimental to the earth. Okay, back in the ancient days, plastic wasn't commonly used, but now in these times, as Esau Edom has commercialized everything, okay, and these nations have followed suit, okay, you have this problem. All right. It says Janice Bradeney, lead researcher and professor of watershed science at Utah State University, calls this process plastic spiraling, and some microplastics have been traveling through nature's system for a long periods. Plastics could be deposited, remitted to the atmosphere, transported for some time, deposited, and maybe picked up again, Bradeney said. And who knows how many times, and who knows how far they've traveled. Bradeney's team found that so-called wet microplastics, named for the way they are transported via wet atmospheric conditions, had most likely been distributed by a storm and swept up into the atmosphere and originated in large urban areas. Dry microplastics, by contrast, mimic the dispersal pattern of dust patterns, traveled long distances, often across continents. Bradeney warned that new findings show an urgent need to reduce plastic pollution, although their full effects on the human body are still unknown. All right, but they don't know the full effects on the human body, but it's not good. Okay. So they don't know they don't know the full effects on human body are still unknown. Scientists are starting to raise public health concerns over microplastic particles. They're small enough to lodge into lung tissues, which causes lesions and in some cases routine exposure, asthma, and cancer. A 2019 study found that in an urban Danish apartment, the average person inhaled about 11 microplastic particles per hour. Wow. Scientists also link microplastic particles to fluctuations Shalaki, if I didn't say that right. Fluctuations, Shalaki. Fluctuations in soil thermal properties leading to losses in plant life fluctuations. Brainy believes that his research is just the beginning of understanding how microplastics move through ecosystems. Learning about plastics and how they don't decompose and degrade, it seems like, oh my gosh, we should have been expecting this. They're just fragmenting into these tiny sizes. They could certainly be carried by the wind, Brainy says. We've just been missing it, she added. Okay. So I'll just stop with that article. This is not good. Okay, that's why America has to be Babylon the Great has to be destroyed, and the wicked has to be taken out of power, because the earth has to go back into a state of rest. Okay, you see this fish over here with these microplastics. So these microplastics, it's not good. Okay, for the ecosystem. Okay, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah is going to destroy them that have destroyed the earth through their policy. Okay, and all of this is going to be a thing of the past. The microplastics, all of this way, because we're not going to operate, okay, the earth in a way like this in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, the whole earth is going to be renewed. It's going to be refreshed at the downfall of the wicked. Okay, so with that, Lord's will, your brothers has been edified. Okay, put a more of a light on those that destroy the earth. Okay, and what they have done. Okay, and that's why they have to be judged for it. The wicked. Okay, so with that, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Akakwadash, double honesty, apostles and elders of great millstone, and salutation to you brothers that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Until the next episode, Shalom.